Greetings, schools, and welcome back to another talk about horror television. Today we're covering the segment Used Car from the beloved show Night Visions. So we're buying a car. How exciting, right? Well, there's a lot more to it than that. This one is one of the more tender and emotionally nuanced episodes of the series. So get your Kleenex ready, and let's get right into it. So we're at the car lot, and our main character Charlotte and her husband Jack are looking for a new car. Charlotte spots a beautiful red Volvo with the exact look she's going for, a little flashy and fun. The car is even playing the catchy song Someday We'll Be Together by Diana Ross and the Supremes. It's like the car is calling for her. She was there to buy a brand new car, but this one has 800 miles, so it's used. She doesn't mind one bit because later that night the car is parked steadily in her driveway. And now we get a peek into the lives of these two. We learn that Jack is a doctor and he teaches at the medical school. Surrounded by hot babes, Charlotte worries. He promises he isn't bored with her. Charlotte expresses her existential dread. She doesn't have anything going on in her life that excites her. She gets her hair done, goes shopping, and she feels sad. She's just a pampered doctor's wife. I feel for her. Money doesn't fix one's yearning for meaning in this ultimately meaningless life. Charlotte does think of something, though. She recommends that they have a baby even though she never wanted one before this. So they get to baby making, and the next morning she wakes up determined to bring back the car and get something else. Something more suitable for her and her new addition to the family, such as an SUV. When she gets out and enters the car, she sees a woman in the back seat. How frickin' weird is that? And guess what she says? She says,
"We're having a baby."
"We're having a baby. Scary." So Charlotte goes back into her house and calls her husband at work, but sadly he's in surgery. So her girlfriend comes over for a chat. They discuss pregnancy fears and paranoia. Her friend comforts her, and by the time she leaves, our Charlotte is smiling again. That is until she gets in her car and remembers how frightening that was to see some spooky lady pop up and then disappear. Charlotte stops for a mother with the carriage. She puts on the radio and it's the same song from the beginning of the episode. Even weirder, a woman's hand reaches out and touches Charlotte's. Stranger yet, Charlotte finds a new item in her passenger seat. It's a pregnancy test with the yes read, and a receipt signed Lucy Sykes. So her friend Melissa comes back over, and Charlotte explains to her the ghostly encounter in her car. Charlotte's super excited to have a new purpose in her life. A new meaning, if you will. She's on a wild goose chase to learn more about Lucy. Charlotte finds a number in the phone book addressed to a G. Sykes. She calls and gets no answer, so she decides to head over there and check it out for herself. She doesn't have any luck when she's at the front door, so she goes back to her car, and right next to her steering wheel she finds a bloody razor blade.
We're having a baby.
That's pretty spooky. Then Charlotte spots someone leering in at her from the street. She gets out and approaches him to ask him questions about Lucy. We find out it's Lucy's uncle. He tells us that Lucy was a dancer and she was always in trouble. Her uncle would let her stay there and loan her money, but he never knew Lucy on a very deep level. She was very secretive. For what it's worth, the uncle seems like a really cool dude. He lets Charlotte take a box of Lucy's stuff home with her. When Charlotte's husband gets home from work, he's shocked to see weird stuff all over their floor, leading up to their bedroom. He calls for his wife, but she doesn't answer. What a mess. He drops down and looks at Lucy's driver's license. When he finally finds his wife, he's shocked to say the least when he finds her dressed like the dancer in a sequin dress. They both seem confrontational now. Charlotte wants to know if he likes her outfit. She slams a picture frame down.
Bet you liked it when Lucy wore it. Just like the car. Yeah, I figured you bought it for her. Isn't that funny? You bought the same car twice. You're busted, Jack.
So Jack tries to work his way out of this one. It's impossible to get out of this one, Jack. The fighting intensifies, and then Charlotte decides she's had enough of the situation. So she runs outside to her possessed ghostly car and gets in for a ride in the storm. Her husband begs her to stay, but she doesn't listen. Charlotte calls her bestie, Melissa, but she gets the voicemail. And then, guys, you're not gonna believe what happens next. Lucy starts talking to Charlotte. She starts telling her the truth and showing her what happened. Her husband canoodling heavily with Lucy, and then when Lucy is told something she doesn't want to hear,
I can't have a child with you. I'm married.
Then kill your wife.
Then kill your wife. Kill your wife. Then kill your wife.
that's scary as hell. This crazy lady wants her dead. It almost causes a crash. Then something right out of Stephen King's Christine happens. The song from the beginning plays again as the car fills with fumes, and she's locked in now, unable to do a damn thing. Later that night, the car pulls down the driveway as the horn of the Volvo blares, surely waking up every inhabitant in a mile radius. Jack goes outside to investigate the noise, and he finds his wife dead, and the car full of smoke. The poor thing trusted the wrong side of history and got caught by a ghost chick. We hate to see it. Lucy, the not-so-friendly ghost, writes out her favorite song lyrics on the windshield. And that's all. What did you think, ghouls? I'm gonna rate this one a 7.2 out of 10 for the series. This one wasn't the greatest hit of the series. I would say this is one of the more forgettable stories because this one has certainly been done before. I'm not sure how at all this is a unique take on a haunted car even, but I think it was okay and a fun watch. I would probably watch it again, but it isn't high on my list of the best episodes of Night Visions. Where it was strongest was the acting chops on Charlotte. I really loved her performance here. Sherilyn Fenn was brilliant, where I think this one could have been an utter flop. Be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments, as I always love hearing from you guys. Thank you patrons for supporting today's video. You all are the best. And if you'd like, you can throw a few bucks per month to the channel and I'll be sure to keep these videos coming. Just go over and check out Patreon. Thanks everyone, enjoy yourselves today. Be well and stay spooky.